My friend is about to propose to his cheating girlfriend, only I know about her infidelity. Hi, welcome to my channel. Here we discuss problems related to romance, marriage, and past judgment. Before we start, if you have personal stories of how you got out of a toxic relationship with your cheating wife or girlfriend that you want to share, feel free to email them to me. Let's get started. This story was posted into our /relationship_advice by you/Annoringhorse. Original story. So my good friend Aaron and his girlfriend Mary have been together for almost 7 years. They met in college and are in a very close relationship. Personally, I would call them extremely codependent. Neither of them really has any friends aside from each other. She doesn't let him have guy friends. In fact, she doesn't let him do a lot of things. He's not allowed to go out past 11, not allowed to drink or smoke, she has to approve of all of his friends, and he's not allowed to be alone with other girls. She's got this guy on a tight leash. The reason why they're still together is that Aaron is completely whipped, and to him, she can do no wrong. He talks regularly about how amazed he still is that she finds him attractive. He's a decent looking guy, but she's like supermodel level good looking. They post cutesy couple photos every day. I'm pretty sure she makes him post them, and to everyone who sees them, they appear to be the perfect magical fairy tale couple. Anyways, a few weeks ago he told my boyfriend and me that he was planning on proposing to Mary. Of course, we congratulated him because he seemed super excited. Now here's the issue. A few weeks before this, I hung out with a friend of Mary, Allison. Allison told me about a party they went to where Mary got drunk and slept with her ex. After the party, they began hooking up regularly, and she had a threesome with him and a friend of his. Aaron has no knowledge of these hookups. I told my boyfriend about it because he shares my friendship with both of them, and he believes that we need to say something, but I'm not so sure how to even go about that. It will destroy him, ruin their entire relationship, and maybe a friendship as well. However, I think in the long term he will be unhappy with a marriage where she's so controlling. Not even that, but if she's completely okay with cheating on her long-term partner, it will be the same once they're married. Is telling him the right thing to do? Edit, to clarify, the cheating has not been going on for 6 years, as far as I'm aware, and the hookups occurred recently. Edit 2, some of the commenters are calling me a bad friend for not telling him immediately. After giving it some thought and reading the comments, I have decided to tell him as soon as I can, most likely tonight if he's free to hang out. To those saying I'm being a bad friend for waiting, this is a huge deal, and it will greatly affect the future of Aaron, and I want to make sure I break the news in the correct way. This man is blinded by love. He's not going to be expecting this news at all, and his whole life is about to change. I'm definitely not going to do nothing, because he deserves much better than this woman, and he deserves to know the truth about what he's getting into if he still decides to marry her. I'm expecting a full-blown shitstorm. I'm expecting him to be hurt, angry, in disbelief. I don't believe it's wrong that I'm asking for a bit of advice on how to approach this. Should I have told him sooner? Maybe, but what difference would a few weeks make? For all those asking, I'll post an update when I do it. Edit 3, I've talked to Aaron since I posted this, and he is coming over tonight to talk/hang out. My BF and I are going to tell him together because he knows the situation as well. A few of you have suggested I talk to Mary first to give her a chance to come clean. While that's a good idea, I'm not as close to her as I am to Aaron, and I don't see that going over well. I would much rather tell him and leave it to him to decide what to do from there. Edit 4, new information has been received from the third-party friend Allison. She has sent me screenshots of texts that do prove Mary has been involved with her ex. They send messages regularly and he has sent her nudes. Edit 5, Lamau, I'll just mention that Aaron just got to our house, 8 p.m. EST, will update later if I can. Thank you all so much for the kind messages and for helping me work this hot mess out. I've been stressing about this all day, but I believe I am doing the right thing in telling him. Update. Some of the commenters gave me some very helpful advice. Some of you told me to talk to the girlfriend first, some of you told me to wait, some told me to gather a bunch of evidence first, which I ended up getting from Allison, the third-party friend. Some of you guys got angry with me for not telling him sooner, told me I was a bad friend. Some were sure he wouldn't believe me, some predicted the girlfriend would deny it all. Well, all of you were somewhat right. Here's how it went down. I messaged Allison early on in the day, shortly after I made the post, because typing it all out brought my guilt and apprehension from the situation to the surface. I said to Allison that I needed to tell Aaron, and asked whether or not she had proof. This was when she sent me the screenshots of the text messages. Aaron came over at around 8, and what was great was that Allison came over too. We all sat down and talked for a bit, and we all told him our suspicions about Mary. Allison showed him the text screenshots of Mary talking to her ex and also told Aaron all the stories she shared about her sexual encounters. What was the most surprising was his reaction. He took it very well. He first got very quiet and just nodded. Aaron ended up telling us that he had a sneaking suspicion that something was going on. He was not aware of the hookups, but he and Mary had gotten into fights before over the fact that she doesn't allow him near any other girls, but she goes out and flirts with other guys all the time. He told us that she had been distant lately, and would leave rather often without telling him where she was going. There were a few other small things he mentioned that told us he was just generally unhappy with his relationship. He knew in his gut something was wrong but wanted to believe it wasn't true. We started unwinding with some alcohol after that and it all got way more emotional. He cried, talking about how he felt stupid for not seeing it sooner, how he really loved her and would have given her anything. Then he got angry. At her and even more so at the guy. Some unpleasant and derogatory terms were used to describe her. Ultimately he told us that he's going to be breaking it off at least for now. We told him a million times how much better he deserved. He's definitely not going to marry her. Thanks again all for the supportive words and advice. We saved a good man from heartbreak. Before we take a look at some replies by other Redditors, take a moment to like the video to show your support to the channel. Don't forget to leave your own opinion on the story in the comments down below. Now let's look at some comments. Booty Bustin' Witch 123 wrote, "You did well op. Hopefully Mary doesn't try to manipulate him or convince him to stay, people like Mary have a knack for that. Keep by his side and make sure he has people stand up to her with him. The more help he can get through this. Also try and have him break things off over text or in public, Mary seems like the type to react very badly." Pariza Oap wrote, "Glad it worked out. Just make sure he uses healthy coping mechanisms. What you don't want to do is get him liquored up so that his inhibitions are lowered and he thinks it's a good idea to fight this guy or something similar." Konkakenko wrote, "You're a good people op. If you or Allison are ever in London let me know and I'll hook you up with an overpriced cocktail." U/ARC1019 wrote, "I was in this situation. Warned my boy and told him. He still married her. Less than 3 years later they were divorced. Now she's with the guy she cheated on him with." If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Hit the notification bell to make sure you never miss an upload.